The last section of the Encyclopedia guidebook is divided into two parts: the making of, which is a short interview with the game's staff, and the enjoying Shining Force, which seems to be the experience of two famous people playing the game. The game was created by Sonic, a company created by Takahashi, which is a joint venture between Climax and Sega. Those who participate in the interview are Hiroyuki Takahashi, Kenji Oramo, Hidehiro Yoshida, Yoshitaka Tamaki, Yoshinori Tagawa, and Yasuhiro Taguchi. When did you come up with the concept for Shining Force?
It was around November last year that the draft came to mind. I had this idea running through my head since I was still working on Shining and the Darkness. I wanted to do an RPG that was advanced in a Dragon Quest style and that allowed me to experience a story of that level. In addition, I wanted to include elements that were not found in RPGs up until now, so I turned the battle scenes into simulations. I personally don't do simulations. This is not a simulation. I think of it as an RPG. At first, there were only about 2 people who were in favor of the simulation. Tagawa and Tamaki wanted to do it, but Oramo said he didn't know much about it, and Taguchi said he absolutely hated simulations. I think he wanted to make something with a story. Yes. I've always liked simulation games where you have a lot of experience points, and your character grows steadily. So, I have a job, but it's my hobby and I wanted to try this method. In our case, it's not like we're told to make something from the top, but we're trying to make something that everyone can agree on. So, talk about it repeatedly. Why don't you understand me? So, sometimes we argue like in a youth drama, laughs. I put in a lot of different elements so that even those who disagreed would agree. So in the end I think it ended up being quite interesting. And the fact that we just happened to have a good team of people was a big factor in our success.
The animation of the battle scene is truly amazing.
No, it was hard. But I wanted to be as specific as possible and make it easier for people to empathize with it. It was great to be able to put the image of the original picture on the screen as it is. Normally, no matter how realistic the design illustration is, it becomes very small on the screen. I can't bear to do it on a common screen. When I saw the opening of a certain RPG, I got a hint from that and came up with that battle animation. Both the characters and the backgrounds were huge and realistic, and it was difficult to fit them in the limited memory. Up until now, games have been created by simply flipping the characters left and right and reusing them for various screens. But in Shining Force, the player can see it three-dimensionally, so the left and right, the vertical and horizontal are all different. Not only is it huge, but it can't be reused, and it's already hard.
I heard that the landform under the main character's feet is called the Otashidai.
When Tamaki drew the sample picture, it just so happened that the main character's feet were rocky. I wanted to make the most of it on screen. At first, I called it Otashidai, but later it came to be called Otoko no Hanamichi, laughs. Each terrain effect is different. I wanted to express it in a picture rather than showing it in numbers in a small box. It only had that shape.
What did you do to improve the character settings?
There are a lot of characters, including enemies and allies, but the guys who join in the second half are called Low-Quality Army Corps. Laughs. It may be my hobby that there are many characters that are not human. Yogurt was half-jokingly called a scribble box when the characters weren't finished yet. Oramo's face is the same. When I couldn't draw, I used to take everyone's photos. Then they said it was good, and when I tried to put in the name of the food at random, it was used as is. However, it seems that he is loved more than the characters that I draw seriously.
A highlight this time is the battle simulation. Any struggles with this?
At the time of battle, the enemy's thoughts must end within 1 second. I thought that it was no longer a game when I went beyond that. Tagawa, don't you have a lot of hardships to talk about? Can I talk about it? I can't stop, laughs. When thinking about combat, first think about what the monster will do to whom. Then you must think about where to move. But unlike normal simulation games, the contents of actions are complicated, including magic and items, and you must calculate HP and MP to do something. To do that, we must narrow down the content of our choices.
Really unstoppable.
Well, I can't go into too much detail, but in other words, it's normal for enemies to be very stubborn and take time to do various things. I did it in less than a second, so it must have been hard. Yes. Even now, I don't know how I did it. Anyway, I had a strong feeling that it wouldn't be interesting if the enemy didn't just attack. It had to do a lot of different things. For that reason, I had everyone go through a lot of hard work. This time, the program in the city was put together by the people who did Dragon Quest. Whether it's the number of events or the size of the town, I'm impressed that we've been able to come in all that much. Considering career and sense, I think I was blessed with really good staff. Even my selfishness was taken into consideration. Come to think of it, this game all started from the president's selfishness in the first place. Laughs. I'm sorry. But I think it's a good thing about us that we don't forget the feelings of children. It was a lot of hard work, but I didn't compromise, and when it's over, I think everyone feels happy. It would be nice if the players could feel that kind of fun too. By the way, let me justify my selfishness, laughs. The people who are doing it also value playfulness, or rather, they are playing, laughs. Under such circumstances, it's interesting to see how the game is completed.
The staff who are always trying new things even though they have a hard time. There are also rumors that they are already working on his next project. Shining series, the third installment, is also likely to be expected. It also says a bit about the making of the television commercial. Max, Tao, and Hans face the Rune Knights and Lizard Men. The CF shooting of Shining Force took place in mid-February. Monsters such as the Rune Knight are miniatures made with precision. Reminiscent of an old castle was also done in a real set. The person part was taken separately and synthesized. Naomi Kawai, an employee of Viz, played the role of Tao, and Takahiro Endo played the role of Hans. It was directed by Shigeru Oshima. The first of the Enjoying Shining Force is by Katsu Sato, a columnist who has never played a Mega Drive game.
I don't own a Mega Drive. Thanks to this, to write this manuscript, I ended up borrowing not only the software but also the hardware itself of the Mega Drive. I have a story to tell. It's next to me, but the chopsticks are broken. If you have a split chopstick, could you lend me one? Please, please, yes, this is it. That. Oh. If you don't mind, could you lend me some food to eat with this chopstick? The reason I borrowed the Mega Drive may be the same pitiful thing in terms of circumstances. The first time I saw a Mega Drive, it was unusually beautiful. The same thing must have happened to the guy next to me who gave me a rice ball, because he must have felt that rice ball was unusually good. I want to fight too, let me be your friend. Shining Force is like a friend who says such things, and the numbers in the party increases steadily. However, is it possible to become friends so easily? Even if it's a guy I've known for a long time, even a guy I've met for the first time will come and say, please make me your friend. What is the aggressiveness of this interpersonal sense? Somehow, doesn't it look like the guys who came to the personality modification seminar? Normally, if you want to fight, you can fight yourself. Even so, he doesn't do anything by himself, and when he becomes a friend, he suddenly kills monsters. Even SMAP is working hard, but anything below that is still ninja class. On top of that, there are even some people whose job is to dry the laundry before they join the group. That's because it's suddenly a monster killer. If such a shirt really existed, I would be so scared that I wouldn't even be able to walk at night. Well, I don't care about poking the corner of such a heavy box. As I mentioned earlier, this game has a beautiful screen. Especially in the battle scenes, the characters attack the enemy monsters so cool that you think, wow. Let's say, it's powerful and cool, even though it's a lame phrase. But that powerful, cool guy is a former laundry clerk.
The second of the Enjoying Shining Force is by Yumi Iguchi, a manga artist who has played countless games.
Real-size animation is cool. These days, it's become commonplace for battle scenes to be animated. Among them, the mainstream is the Second Life character. That's cute in its own way, but the real-size characters and full animation of a Shining Force, which can be said to be unique to SEGA, are cool. Plus, those sound effects. Bash, bok. If someone hit me with an axe, I would unintentionally want to shout, "Oh, it hurts. Stop it." I cried. I like to spend a lot of time enjoying RPGs, but this time I didn't have much time to write the manuscript. Still, I wonder if the reason why I feel so real is that the characters are huge, and I can't help but empathize with them. Who the hell is Yogurt? In this game, all the faces of the characters come out, and it's nice that the user can choose who they like. But for some reason, characters with cool faces tend to have low attack power and HP, making them unreliable. However, the powerful Mei, who can move around and grows on her own, and the reliable Tao, who can learn attack magic. Why is it that all the girls are getting stronger? By the way, when did Yogurt become a friend? I remember him yawning, but I'm not sure. After all, he was in the headquarters when I noticed. Who the hell is Yogurt? 1 HP, 1 attack, 1 defense. Even when I talk to him, he says, I don't really understand. Will he really grow up, or will he just remain as he is? If I have the time, I'd love to try growing it.
She also drew 3 mini comics and a cute picture of Max with Yogurt.